Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Azure Lane Fallen Lord. So yeah, let's begin, shall we, ladies and gents? As we go to the perspective of that of Scarlett D. Williams. Scarlett would be continuing talking with the ship girl known as Belfast, as she would continue with the report. From what we've heard, apparently this floating, moving island is currently now situated in the North Sea, more specifically near the coast of the Sakura Empire. As after hearing that, Scarlet would say, if that's the case, then perhaps it might be some sort of a new siren technology, considering that they're now using siren tech to, as she would say, perhaps. But for now, our spies are currently under under control, or more specifically, undercover. From what we last heard, apparently, from what they told us, it's well, let's just say, considering everything, it seems to be quite weird. As Scarlet would say, wait, weird? Like, how weird? As she would say, from what I've heard, one of the spies told us that there's a male Kansen, aka a male ship boy. Hearing that, Scarlet would drop her hot dog and say, wait. So, there's a ship boy now? Why we didn't... how? As she would say, I'm not exactly sure myself. From what they were speculating, or at least from what we've heard from them, apparently he's from a different realm. And apparently he despises specifically that of the Sirens himself. Though I'm a bit surprised considering that he's working with them for now. But at the same time, we also got in reports of Amagi being alive. As she would say, wait, that Amagi? How? Let me guess. Did they save him or save her? Or perhaps did they revive her in a way? As she would say, I'm not exactly sure myself. But for now, we've also been told that, to say the least, his ship is apparently the island itself. As she would say, the island is his ship? As she would say, yes. It's quite a scary thought. An entire island as a ship with probably thousands upon thousands of weapons. From what we've heard, or at least from what one of the spies told us, apparently he's some sort of aircraft carrier, but not an ordinary one for sure. For now, we're still getting updates. As Scarlet, after hearing that, she would say, sure. If it's if it's any more trouble, then perhaps it's time for us to try and well, to say the least, try and take him down immediately. Also, if we ever encounter that ship boy or male Kansen, capture him. I don't want you to hurt him all that much, since it's our first time encountering such an anomaly. As she would say, very well, Commander. As after saying that, she would leave. As Scarlet would be sitting on her, on her chair, as she would say, and I thought that being the commander of Ashlane would just be, well, just simple paperwork, not this shit, she would say. As we go to another perspective. As you go to the perspective of that of a certain famous ship. As she would be riding upon a massive aircraft carrier. Her silver hair sways in the wind as she would be wielding that of some sort of bow. As she would say, hope everybody's okay in the base. After hearing the declaration of Soccer Empire deciding to join the Crimson Axis, after all, this is war. And war, it means showing no gut, showing no mercy to the enemy, she would say. As behind her, or at least on her shoulder, a bald eagle would be beside her. As it shrieks, as she would fly away, getting ready to go towards land. In this case, the Azur base. As we go back to that of Izuku's perspective, as he's currently now back in his castle of New... Let me just double check the name. Of New Lindell, as he'd be talking to his council, consisting of Moog, the... I guess you could say like, the... I guess you say prince, or more like a leader of... I guess you could say the... let me just double check. Yeah, the Omen, yeah. Melania, as she would be sitting on a nearby like a throne, not really throne, but more like a like an ornate chair, and finally Mesmer, as he would also be sitting on a an ornate chair, as he would be leaning on a spear, specifically, as he would say. So that day was quite the productive one. As he would say, specifically that of our boy Izuku, as he would say, yes, though I still feel disappointment towards the rest of the Sakura Empire. As he would look towards Amagi, as Amagi would say, yes, though I was a part of the Sakura Empire, now to say the least, their tensions were actually meant to be good. But learning of the trickery that led to them creating that thing, to say the least, I'm disappointed. As you would say, yes. But for now, they are our allies, so we should just treat them with respect. But if they ever do something of that sort again, we're annulling our alliance. As after hearing that, Mesmer would say, I do have to agree with that. Melania would continue would say, yes. As Moga would look at the situation and would say, I do agree. Though at the same time, I believe that it would be better if they give them a second chance. Though, if they do feel we'll be leaving. As he would say, agreed. Now, a meeting adjourned. As after saying it, they would start leaving, going towards their quarters. As he would say, good night, Amagi. As she would say, yes, good night, Izuku. As we would go towards the morning. As we go to the perspective of Nagato, as she would say, so, did you send the message to Azur? As one of the ship girls would say, yes, we did. Though, I'm still pretty concerned, especially since the part of our faction, half of it specifically, seems to be quite angry with the idea of surrendering. As she would say, then tell them this. Would they rather just die as our country shatters and disappears in the wind, than survive and become the winning side? As she would say, then we shall do it then. As she would say, good. Thank you for these words, Suzuki Midoriya. As while saying it, we would go to another perspective. As we go to the perspective of the base of Iron Blood, which is essentially just Nazi Germany. As I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, it's basically just Nazi Germany. Well, if I remember correctly, they did not explain or anything of that sort. Especially when it comes to the certain mustache man. Let's just say that. So, as a woman would be in an office, as she would be dealing with paperwork, as she would say, I seriously have to deal with all of this. And by the way, I'm not going to be doing the German accent. It's been a while since I actually did a German accent, so I kind of forgot how to do that type of stuff. So, yeah. You're just imagine me just saying it in a German accent, so yeah. I should say, seriously, I have to deal with all of this paperwork. I wish we had a commander. As while saying that, another ship girl would arrive. As we would see a woman with whitish hair and red eyes, as she would say, Guten Tag, Commandant, she would say. As after saying that, she would say, Oh, Prince Eugene, may I ask why you're here? As she would say, Well, I'm here wanting to have to ask for a request. I want to meet up with the rest of well, our allies in the Sakura Empire. As after hearing that, she would say, What for exactly? Now she would say, The approaching of the Orochi project. Since that we're allies and such, we want to also incorporate that technology into our own ships. After all, we're much more superior when it comes to technology. As she would say, I see. Then you may. Also, as she would say, Yes, Commandant? As she would say, Well, have you heard of the recent reports of this ghost island? As she would say, Yes, I did hear of that. It's quite interesting. If anything, I'm quite curious if that ship is quite the beauty. And if it were an actual island, I wonder how many resources that we can plunder from there. If there's natives, we can certainly take them into custody. Ash would say, You may do whatever you want, but if you ever engage in that island, be sure to try and find a way to get onto it, and do not invoke it. After all, from what we've heard of rumors, apparently that island is being controlled by someone, and it seems to be quite angry towards sirens. Ash would say, At your liege then, Commandant. Ash would leave. As the woman would say, A person such as I, Bismarck, is still quite annoyed by you. I would just have to finish all of this. I certainly need a beer. As we would go back to the perspective of our boy Izuku. As we would see our boy Izuku currently training. As while doing so, he would hear the sound of a few voices. In this case, ship girls. As you would say, So Magi, what is this? As she would say, Oh, they're just visiting. As he would see Akagi, or at least I think that's her name. Let me just double check. It's been a while. As he would see Akagi, as she would approach him, as she would say, It's nice to meet you again, Lord Izuku. As he would say, Then, why are you here exactly? He would say. As she would say, Well, since that we're going to be allies, I wanted to ask if we can do our trade deals soon. As he would say, Very well, you may go into the city. Though, I'm quite concerned that there's several children there. Ash would say, Oh, those are just the destroyers. You don't really need to mind them. I mean, they have the mind of children. Just like normal humans are, in a way. As you would say, Very well then. And so we're gonna be ending off this episode right off here, guys. So yeah, bye bye.